This first day of the year is set aside in the liturgy of the church to celebrate the solemnity of the Mother of God. So I'd like to discuss for these homiletic moments some understanding of the discipleship of Mary, the first and the most perfect disciple of Jesus Christ, in order to pay tribute to the teaching and the gift and the revelation of her life, and how this somehow has a grace for each of us. So I'd like to reflect on what this meant to me as I prepared and read and did my own kind of preparation for these remarks. Jesus is born in utter simplicity, unknown to most of the world. This extraordinary moment does not appear to have any value to most of the world. It's revealed not to the chosen scholars of the law. It's not revealed to the most religious, the most observant. It's revealed to the simplicity of the shepherds, down to earth, real people, representing all people who are down to earth and real, and to the Magi, the ones who search, the seekers, the one who had questions. Joseph Heller says, "It is neither possible nor necessary to educate people who do not have questions." And the Magi had questions, and so they became part of the revelation. This revelation can be seen and understood only with the eyes of faith. And Mary is given to us as the example of a disciple living in faith. For she accepts the blessing, the great privilege of being the mother of Jesus, but also she will be given the burden of discipleship. She will experience rejection, misunderstanding. She will experience mystery and great suffering in her life. It's the paradox of discipleship. She will have light and darkness. She will have grace and somehow emptiness and a poverty in spirit. It's given to everyone. It's the perennial paradox that belongs to each person's life. Light, darkness. Unless you have darkness, light has no meaning. You have sin and you have grace. If you don't have sin, there is no theology of grace. We are all sinners. Unless we see ourselves that way, we will never understand any theology of the grace and the love of God. You have failure and forgiveness. If you have never failed, you will never understand forgiveness. If you don't know your failure, because we have all failed, you will not know the richness and the wonder and the healing of forgiveness. If you are a judgmental person and you stand in a righteous place, you'll never understand the paradox of life. So we have opposites that need one another in order to be understood. It's the paradox given to every one of us. Now, somewhere in life, we have to follow this discipleship modeled by the Mother of God. It's a discipleship of going into the unknown, of embracing the fullness of life, not just part of life. Somewhere, every one of us has said, in some form or other, trust me. Trust me with your gifts, and I will be grateful. Trust me with your humanity, and I will be understanding. But trust me. Could be a marriage vow. It could be a life partner. It could be your best friend. When I have baptisms here, after the baptism I pause and I invite people to get their videos out or their iPhones, and I announce to the community the day, the hour, the place. And then I invite the parents and the godparents to say something special to the child that will be recorded forever. So I say, when you're 15 and you really get in big trouble, ask your mom and dad to show the video. Or when you need a Porsche and you're 16, the godparents. Godparents are always good for stuff like that. But listen to what they say. You are a gift. We love you unconditionally. Godparents typically will say, we're always going to be there for you. We will never abandon you. Did you hear yourself saying that? We've all said that somewhere. But we have our limitations. We're also human. And much as we try to have this unconditional, absolute love, it's a struggle. We make mistakes. We need forgiveness. And now we come to God and say, trust me, God. And I say, do we trust God? Do we really trust God? When we're blessed and things go our way, do we say a prayer of thanks? Are we grateful? Or do we feel entitled? When things don't go well, and we're burdened, and we get rejection, and promises made to us are not fulfilled, and things go wrong, do we stop praying now? Do we walk away from God? What kind of discipleship does the Mother of God model for us? The prayer is that the grace needed will be the grace given. Do we believe this? We're looking into a new year. Look back over the last year. Consider the many ways in which you were blessed in the last year. Count your blessings and be grateful. Look back over the last year and remember again the wounds, disappointments, the failures, your failures, not just the failures of those around you. Look back and remember moments of selfishness, moments of demand, overbearing, controlling. Is God present just in the time of blessing? Or is God present in the cross? In the moments of failure? Do I trust God? Listen to a voice that says, a voice that comes from God, will you trust me with the blessings I give you? Say, yeah, I'll trust you. Will you trust me in the times of burden? Will you trust me when you're wounded? Will you trust me when things do not go your way? Will you trust God? Look back over the year. That's the faith of the disciple modeled in the Mother of God. We're now looking into a new year. The journey of life is hidden from us. Most of whatever we will experience in the next year is beyond our control. We're somehow living in the providence of God's love. Should we be confident? We live in disturbing times. People are uncertain. We should be uncertain. Nothing is guaranteed. Of course we should be uncertain. We can't control life. We can't control the most important things in life. Will we be here next year? Will we experience sickness, disappointment, failure? What? We have no control. So do we have the trust and the faith in God? I trust you in good times and in bad. The grace of God asked will be the grace of God given. So I will be well, and I will be reassured, and my soul will be peaceful because I trust in God's divine providence. The English woman, Minnie Louise Haskins, died just 20, 30 years ago, had this beautiful poem, The Gate of the Year. It struck me I should finish with a quotation from Mary Louise Haskins from this poem, The Gate of the Year. How this speaks to us. And I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, give me a light that I may tread safely into the unknown. And he replied, go out into the darkness and put your hand in the hand of God. That shall be to you better than light and safer than the known way. And so I went forth, and finding the hand of God, trod gladly into the night. And he led me toward the hills and the breaking of day in the lone east. As people of God, we are confident and we are optimistic because we trust